welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on NXT. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive in right into the action because we opened up with a title match. The NXT North American Championship was on the line. Ricky Saints defending against Ethan Paige. Now, part of me was kind of shocked that we opened the show with this match, but I do have to say it was so electric and very chaotic. I mean, the spots were insane. Nothing like I've seen in a while. And there was this one spot that really stuck out to me. Ethan did it's his move. I don't know what it's called. It's like ego something, whatever. To Ricky on a steel chair. And the point, let me rephrase this. It looked like Ricky got impaled by the leg of the chair. And then the leg of the chair broke. So obviously Ethan was protecting his head when he came down, but he definitely wasn't protecting his chest. And he had a big fat mark on his chest from the chair bending and kind of like low-key impaling him. And I know that probably hurt like hell, but you know what? They did a fantastic job with that. And if you saw it, I suck at explaining, but if you saw it, then you know what I'm talking about. And it was great. But in the end, Ethan Paige won and is now the new NXT North American champion. Huge victory for Ethan. Was not expecting this one bit, but now this makes me wonder what is next for Ricky Saints. Is he going to stay in NXT? Does he get called up to the main roster, which I think is what's most likely going to happen here? And I mean, that was just one of 2 title changes that happened last night, and I was shook to my core. I literally did not expect it. It was such a fun surprise. The next match we had, though, was between Mike Santana, who made his NXT debut. He's from TNA, so he crossed through the forbidden door, if you will. He crossed the line, whatever you. And he wrestled Tavon Heights of the NQCC, No Quarter Catch Crew. Very weird name, but whatever. And it was a really great match. I love Mike Santana, so this was so awesome to see him wrestling in an NXT ring. It was great. And honestly, I was pleasantly surprised by Tavon Heights for the match that he was able to put on with Santana. Like, obviously, Santana's a cake and we love him, and I know what he's capable of, but we haven't seen much of Tavon Heights in the last couple of months. So for him to have this really great match with Mike Santana, somebody who's not usually in the WWE circle, it was fantastic. So in the end, though, Mike Santana won. No surprise here with that outcome, but still great to see him in action. Then next, we had a Trick Williams segment. So over the weekend, he actually beat Joe Hendry for the TNA World Championship at Battleground. And he came out to cut his first promo as TNA World Champion. He talked about how so many legends have held this title in the past, but nothing will compare to this Trick Willie title reign. He said that he's going to go to TNA this week to talk to management to change some things. And then Mike Santana came out. And to be honest, I was expecting Joe Hendry to come out, but hey, he was already there. So let's go. And I just have to say, I think this feud is going to be so huge for all parties involved. For Trick, for Mike, for TNA, for WWE. I think it's just going to be amazing, and I cannot wait. Now, I do have to say, Santana absolutely cooked the crap out of Trick. I was not expecting that. I mean, I know he's really good on the mic, but just for him to like come with fireballs ready to go at Trick was amazing. And Santana got on the mic as well, besides throwing those fireballs, to also say that he is going to be the one to take the title off of Trick. And then Santino Marella, somebody high up in TNA, came on the screen to announce that he spoke with Ava, and next week on NXT, we will have a title match for the TNA World Championship. Trick Willie will be defending against Mike Santana. And I also want to talk about Joe Hendry really quick because I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. I don't know if he's going to have a Jordan Grace situation where she loses the title and then comes to WWE full time. That's what Jordan did. I don't know if that's what Joe's going to do or if he's just going to stay in TNA. I hope he does officially become a part of the roster. I think that would be awesome for him to be on the main roster and bring all of his magic there. So I'm very curious to see what's going to end up happening with him. But the next match of the night was Jada Parker versus Tatum Paxley. Now, the last time that they faced, they put on an absolute banger together. So this time, I mean, what did you expect? Anything less? No, they put on a banger once again. And I think that they both work so well together and always make their matches so entertaining. And something that I thought was very sweet that Tatum did during her entrance is that she had a little tribute to Shotzi and Gigi Dolan. Obviously, you guys know that they recently got released, and the three of them were kind of a part of like a little faction in NXT. And so she came out with three little dolls, like Barbie dolls, I guess. And one of them kind of represented Tatum, one represented Gigi, one represented Shotzi. They had the colored hair and everything. And she did her makeup to where it looked like she was crying and she was holding the dolls. And it was just a sweet little moment to still show them on TV and show her support and everything. It's the little things, okay? And I loved it. But in the end, my queen Jada Parker won. And quick story time, if you guys didn't see my NXT vlog from last week, I'm currently wearing my Jada Parker shirt. If you're watching the video version, you can see that. And if you're watching the video version, she signed my freaking t-shirt. So right here on my shoulder, I don't know if you can really see it, but her signature's there. And now I'm scared to wash the shirt because I don't want it to go away. So I don't know what to do, but it's probably going to wash away. But the next thing that happened, we had a debut match for the LFG Season 1 winner, Jasper Troy, up against Dante Chen. Now, this was a semi-squash match. I mean, Dante definitely got some offense in, but Jasper absolutely destroyed him in the end and won the match. And I just have to say, I am so excited for Jasper Troy's arrival in NXT. I believe his future is so freaking bright. Getting to see his entire journey from LFG, the very beginnings, all the way up until now. I mean, I just know it's going to be so good. But if you guys saw NXT last week, you would know that he attacked Obafemi. That was his like original little debut moment. And so Obafemi came out and he said that he's impressed by Jasper, but he's going to be the bigger person here. And he said to Jasper to enjoy his 5 seconds of fame because Oba is coming for him. Then we had an Ethan Paige segment, which I was pretty surprised that we weren't going to wait till next week to do this, but he came out to say that he isn't waiting till next week to do his little celebration for becoming champion. He's doing it now. And before he could even talk a second further, Javon Evans came out and I was like, hell yeah, let's go. He came out to say that he is coming for Ethan's title and he already spoke to Ava, and this match is officially happening at Worlds Collide. But then Javon said that this match that's happening at Worlds Collide isn't just a one-on-one. It's not a triple threat. It's a fatal four-way. And then we have to wonder who's coming out, right? And so because it's Worlds Collide, for those who don't know, Worlds Collide is going to be happening the morning of Money in the Bank, which is June 7th. So it's a week from this Saturday. And Worlds Collide is basically a PLE that we will have WWE stars going up against AAA stars. If you guys were watching WrestleMania weekend, WWE inquired AAA, so they're now part of the WWE TKO situation. And so what's really awesome is we have talent from main roster, from NXT, and from AAA all kind of mixed into this PLE, and it's going to be so much fun. They did something like this a while back. I don't remember who they did it with, right? Didn't they do one? Was it NXT UK? I don't remember. It was a while ago, but it's going to be so much fun. And so we actually had a AAA star come out. His name is Laredo Kid. This is the first time I'm hearing about him. I definitely need to get more cultured with the AAA talent because I want to be able to enjoy Worlds Collide to its full potential by knowing everybody. So I definitely have to do some homework, but I, from what I've seen, really loved his mic skills and very intrigued to see him in the ring. And then we actually had a star from SmackDown come who's going to be a part of this match too, Rey Fenix. This was the perfect person to put in this match for a couple reasons. One, because he's from main roster, so he adds a bit of excitement to this all. B, they're not really doing much. If you guys watch my SmackDown and Raw recaps, you hear me talking a little bit about how, you know, they've done so right by Penta. This man's always winning. He's in title matches, big moments. But Rey Fenix hasn't had that. And it's really sad and disappointing that they haven't done much with him. So I don't think he's getting called down to NXT by any means, unless he wins the title. But to have him in this match is going to be huge for him on a huge PLE that represents his culture, which I love. And then also, speaking of culture, he's a luchador, and so is Laredo Kid. And not that Javon Evans is a luchador, he's definitely not, but he has a lot of athleticism to him. And I feel like he would probably work really well with Laredo Kid and with Ray Phoenix. So I think those three would be really fun. And then Ethan Page, he's not as athletic, he's more of a powerhouse, but I think that dynamic should be really fun and interesting. And I'm very intrigued, and I was kind of shocked that this match even happened, but I'm now even more excited for Worlds Collide. But let's head into the main event of the night. We had our second title defense of the night. The NXT Women's Championship was on the line. Stephanie Vaquer defending against JCJ. Now, this was such a great match, and I was so happy that it took the main event slot because it definitely deserved it. Now, JCJ won and is now the new NXT Women's Champion. Yeah. Let that sink in. JC Jane is our new NXT Women's Champion. Stephanie Vaquer lost her freaking title. Now, Fatal Influence obviously played a huge part in this victory, but still, nonetheless, we have a new champion. And similar to what I said about Ricky Saints earlier, I mean, and I'll say it again about Stephanie, what does this mean for her? Does she stay in NXT? Does she get called up to the main roster? Now, I have seen reports that she's getting called up officially to Raw and Jordynne Grace is getting called up to SmackDown. So I hope that that's true. Obviously, we recently saw the call-ups of Julia and Roxanne Perez officially. So we're about to get Stephanie and Jordynne up on the main roster, which I think is going to improve both locker rooms so freaking much. And I just have to say, as far as JC Jane becoming the new champ, maybe this is a hot take, maybe it isn't. I don't mind it. Like, I was completely shocked, but I don't hate it. And this is considering that Stephanie is getting called up. If she wasn't getting called up and she was just going to stay in NXT, then I'd be pissed and I'd be like, okay, why the hell are you taking the title off of her? But because Stephanie is getting called up, going to bigger, better things, you got to drop the title to somebody. And hey, I don't mind it being JC Jane. I think her having a title is long overdue. And again, I don't mind it. There's been some animosity in Fatal Influence, so maybe Fallon will end up winning the title at some point this year. Maybe they'll have a feud. Obviously, in that match, even though Fallon helped her, I still think there was a lot of animosity, and I'm very intrigued to see how that all plays out. But let's head into my overall thoughts. I thought it was another great episode of NXT. I mean, they never freaking miss. My match of the night was Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship. I just thought that there were so many amazing spots, and they just made that match so entertaining and can't miss. I just loved it. Now, my segment of the night was easily Trick Williams and Mike Santana. I mean, I thought that they destroyed each other on the mic, and obviously having the excitement of Mike Santana in NXT was huge, and I was hyped and just so freaking hyped for this new feud that's going on. And I love that it's like a cross-brand feud. I know we had that with Joe Hendry and Trick, but it was mainly in NXT, so I'm hoping with the WWE star now being the TNA champion, since it's kind of roles reversed, hopefully we'll get a lot on both shows, both TNA and NXT. But overall, I'd rate the show about an 8.5 out of 10, which I think it's some of its highest ratings in the last couple of weeks. And like I mentioned earlier, we are 1 week, actually we're a week from this Saturday is Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. And this buildup has been great. So I'm very excited. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.